Dans Shararea.
Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to another shit show. No, maybe, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It could be. Um, welcome. Today we're recording this at 8:31 a.m. Oh my gosh, it's 8:31. Oh my god, early. Well, hello, Jade. Welcome. Oh my goodness. 8:31 a.m. here in Northern California, June 26th, 2024. It's how like I don't comprehend how the month just like flies. I just don't like what is that? Like I don't know. Um, but today we are going to be discussing the three. This is actually one of my favorite cards. I really love the depiction in, yes, the Rider Waite Smith, but I also really love the depiction in the Morgan Greer Tarot. But like, I don't know why. There's just I think it just reminds me of old school tattoos, maybe. I mean, I'm not really fond of the message here, but like I enjoy the depiction of the card, and I'm not quite sure why. It's so simple. But yeah, we're gonna be discussing the three the three of swords reversed. Just again, not everything about the card, just three key aspects that I've chosen to talk about. And yeah, we'll have fun with it. And like always, this is our time together, so feel free to share your thoughts, share what you see. What I find interesting before we even like get into what I'm supposed to be talking about to keep myself on track today, what I find interesting about this is like this is just a personal association that I have with this card. I feel it is what I did a reading, I can't like way back when like my friend group was going through something, and it really represented like the love and care that like the friends had for one another, but also the maybe the pettiness or the miscommunication, the hurt, right? The hurtness of everyone's story, right? We all have different types of hurt and different ways of being and different reasons why we act the way we do. And so it was like this sort of this card came up as a representation of the sort of dismantling of a friend group. Does that make sense? And so I always like think about this because there was still love, there was still appreciation, there was still like good memories, but also there was this like somberness, the sorrowness about a friend group that sort of like split. That at that time in that space, right? All we did was bring more like all we did was like cut each other almost, very sharp in words, because we were at a point in our stories, each individual story, that we were not good together. Does that make sense? um and this also came up about the same sort of friend group when we were able to not really come back as a friend group, but also we were grown, and we learned, and we started to heal our own process, so we connected again in different ways, and we were able to be grown about it. I would say adults about it, but I don't like that terminology, because a lot of adults are like more more like childish than actual children. And so I don't feel like being an adult about something means that you're actually educated and grown and handling things with respect and care. I don't think that anymore. So I don't like using that. But like we were more grown. And so this card came up again saying, you know what? We can respect each other's story. We can see how all of these factors factored how all these things factored into to this the sort of dismantling of a relationship, right? So, we can understand the reversal impacts with this. The Three of Swords, and then if you think about it, like, okay, the swords, it's reversed, okay? There's a heart, there's three swords, and reverse that heart can sort of like go a little more down on the sword, which is painful, and I feel like that's why it's this awareness that, ooh, I feel pain, so let me not keep doing that. Does that make sense? And so those swords can kind of slip out as well. And so it's like that recognition that what I'm doing, I can feel that pain. It's kind of I always go back to this. It's kind of like when, if you're a person who's giving birth and you're it's you paying attention to your body's response and those contractions, and then when you're pushing, like pushing enough where you can feel like you feel that that motion, all the stuff going on, and you stop, like when you know your body, like you just can't, you stop when you feel your body like, no, this is too much, and then you breathe, you do your thing, and then when they tell you to push again, you do it again. It's kind of like that. So like you're recognizing like, oh, this is too much right now, or this is a little too stingy, and let me stop, let me assess my situation, let me get a breather, and then let me process more. So it's allowing us that sort of pause to heal. It's letting us look at the pain that we've caused, as well as the pain that we've endured, and figuring out how to navigate that. So the Three of Swords reversed marks a pivotal shift from heartache to healing. In contrast to its upright portrayal of emotional pain, this reversal suggests the beginning of recovery. I do find that. Hinting that the worst is possibly behind you. Hinting. This transition showcases the resilience of the human spirit, where once there was deep wounding, now begins the process of mending. The symbols of rain and clouds previous signs of a storm transform into symbols of cleansing and clarity, offering a new perspective of past sorrows or on past sorrows. So, what does that say to you? How does that make you feel? I really appreciate that. And I think, again, let me just say it out there. This is Three of Swords is associated with the second decan of Libra, which I believe is Saturn in Libra. So we can definitely see Saturn's influence here. Um, and so this aspect of the card allows us to recognize, oh, this is a good place for us to be in. It might not feel good because we're processing maybe things that we have more data, more information that we're working with. We're seeing people and situations and events for what they actually are, and it kind of causes that hurt, that sting, like, oh, why did you have to be this way? Like, why did you have to go and open your mouth? And like, we've been friends for like 10 years, and now I see that you're talking a specific way and you're behaving a specific way that is not something that I support. And this kind of reminds me of like back several years back. I had people who I've been friends with for like a decade, and the things that they were saying, the things that they were lining up with, the things that they were anti me, anti my people, anti my communities. And I'm like, wow, I never really knew this about you. And we talked a lot. And I don't know if this is like a recent development or what, but like I can't vibe with that. Like I can't support that. And so like I had to I have to. I shouldn't say that. I didn't have to. I chose to break that friendship, break that relationship. And people think like, oh, well, you're stupid because like, why would you throw away a 10-year relationship, a 10-year friendship over something minimal? My life isn't minimal. The lives of people that I love and care about, right? They're not minimal. Racism is not minimal. Misogyny is not minimal. The phobias, transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia, all of it is not minimal. Those aren't little things. Like you, because it does not affect you, they might be minimal in your world, which is unfortunate. Um, but like it's not, they're not minimal things. Does that make sense? And so I chose to, like, it hurt, like seeing being exposed to these hurtful things, swords, right? Swords, harsh realities, harsh truths. Um, it hurts. It makes you feel some type of way. And then you have to choose something. You have to make a decision. And if I'm going to heal, then I can't keep surrounding myself with abusers. Does that make sense? And so there's that. I'm sorry, I'm like rambly now. Oh my gosh. But like, let's, practical practical applications here, practical applications here. um Emotional, emotional progress, right? Acknowledging emotional progress. So regularly take time to reflect on your emotional journey, recognize signs of healing and growth to reinforce your resilience. This acknowledgement can be a powerful motivator on days when progress feels slow or invisible. So I think that it's really important for us to tap into that, like understand and acknowledge our progress, our emotional progress. Just because we're not where we want to be, and just because we can't see where we really are, if we really take time to focus on our journey and see, like, you know what, we're not at ground zero, we're not at the foundation of it, we're not at the beginning of it, the start of it, we're somewhere. And so we can see like our progress, and we should acknowledge it and allow it to be what it is. And that definitely helps when we're going through like a three of swords reversal. It helps us to comprehend like this is an emotional journey. Even though it's swords, it's like it's a mind fuck, everybody. It's this mental stress and anxiety that we are unpacking slowly. It stings, and so it does activate some emotional response. But we're also recognizing that it is okay for us to keep moving forward for us, and to be acknowledging, the process. And it doesn't matter how small or big it is. Just acknowledge the progress that we've made. Shift perspective on pain. Try to view painful experiences as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. This, I feel we have to be very careful when we do this. I still put this in here though because I think it's important. Not every painful experience has to be a learning, growth oriented thing, and we shouldn't like put a falsehood over pain, right? We shouldn't glorify it. Like my dad is like, pain is good, pain is good, and it's like, no, no, we're not going to go that way. But that's his own trauma response. That's not my place to deal with. So this shift in perspective can reduce the emotional burden and help you approach challenges with a more constructive mindset. And so I think that when we learn how to shift our perspective on pain, um we can ease into things a little better. And so like maybe like, and we should practice discernment. We should definitely practice proper discernment here. And like we can express like, you know what, this situation, it really hurts me, it hurts my heart, it hurts my soul, and it hurts my brain. I don't understand. But I also recognize, like, moving forward, that I want better. I want better relationships, and I want to know how to do my part in that. But I also want to attract better relationships, and I want people who are going to be inclusive. And even if people say problematic things, I want to be able to say, you know what, that might be something we should talk about, and grow from. And so because we're human, and so we will be ignorant to things, and as long as we choose to not be moving forward, forward, I think that's so important. It's like, yeah, I am ignorant to certain things because they are not my experience, but I'm not going to be so callous to not like to intentionally minimize something. I'm going to learn, I'm going to do better, I'm going to keep trying to do better, right? And so I think that when we feel, well, hello, Dragon Dancer, welcome. When we feel like this pain, whatever we're going through right now, when the Three of Swords pops up, it's like, oh, maybe I can shift. Is this something that I can shift a perspective on? Can I see how am I in a space right now where I can grow from this? Or I can at least plant the seed, like, you know what, I can use this later on, maybe to be better or to help me focus on different things or whatever that may be. Share your stories, openly discuss your past pains and how you've moved beyond them with trusted friends or support groups or therapists, whatever. Sharing not only lessens your emotional load but also helps others feel less alone in their struggles. And we're not like comparing stories, we're not here to be like, yeah, I went through the same thing, because we didn't. Like, even if we had a common theme or a common thread that connects, we are both, or we are all different, and so we may have went through something similar, or but it will be different. Like, we're all, does that make sense? So I feel like we have to be careful with that, because a lot of times we're trying to relate, we're trying to say, yeah, I can comprehend, but it's we have to do so to make, and in a way that's not taking away from the other person and making it about you. um so those are, like, three practical applications we can do or work through or consider when tackling this first aspect of the card. Uh there's some questions or journal prompts or whatever we can ask when faced with this aspect of the card, which are: what are the specific signs or feelings that indicate I am moving from pain towards healing? Because again, Three of Swords reversed can be that shift from that painful experience to learning how to heal it, right? So let's recognize those signs. So what are the specific signs or feelings that indicate I am moving from pain towards healing? And so I think that when we can acknowledge like those things for ourselves and our stories, that when we go through these experiences again moving forward, we recognize like, oh, I am in a process of healing. And that will also help shift our perspective, right? How have my perceptions of past painful events changed as I have begun to heal? That is a huge one. How have my perceptions of past painful events changed as I have begun to heal? So, um, I again, everyone has their own story. You have to do what's right for you, and you don't have to ask this question, but for me, it has helped me to really understand people. Like, I've been through some stuff, and I don't feel like talking about it right now, but like, as I get older, as I understand more and more how beliefs and thoughts and programming, conditioning, like, societal stuff and culture stuff and people stuff and trauma, all of it sort of like interconnects, and it has a play on shaping and forming someone, and then who they are at a core, almost how they respond to all of that. It has really, really helped me to comprehend how certain people who have hurt me, how they work. uh it doesn't necessarily mean I've condoned their behavior, or even if I forgive them, but it makes me understand, right? And so for myself, again, I can't tell you how you for I can't tell you how to apply it to your story, but for me, having that understanding, having that comprehension, I actually I'm able to heal myself even more and let go of a lot of things, because it's like, oh, I can actually comprehend how this works, and I shift myself towards my past. I shift myself towards what I've endured. I'm changing my narrative, I guess. So asking a question like that really has helped tap into that. The last question that I'll share today, like for this aspect, anyways, is who or what has been instrumental in helping me see the positive sides of my emotional journey? Who or what? What resources, what movies, what books, what docu series, what peoples, who have shown up, and what did they say? What gems of wisdom do they provide? And that really helped me understand mentally what I'm going through. I think that's also that's an important thing. Um it is an important thing. So let me get a little sip. Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? Do you have anything you'd like to add, maybe? I don't know. Well, and so the second part that I wanted to talk about today are pathways to healing. So this card encourages the release of past hurts and embracing forgiveness. Ugh, you do not have to forgive. You do not have to forgive. Don't be fooled into forgiving. I feel like forgiveness for me, it's not even when people say, "Oh, it's not about the other person or other situation, it's about you." I take it to a different level. I don't have to forgive a situation. What I seek is forgiveness of myself. Because I feel for me, the way it shows up a lot of times is I blame myself for being in a situation or experiencing something. I'm like, I put more pressure and intensity on me for experiencing something, right? Um, and I'm not saying I asked for something to happen or anything like that, but it's like I feel some type of way about me. Like, why did I have to go through this? Yada yada yada. Does that make sense? And so, like when I say forgiveness, I kind of mean like releasing my responsibility or attachment idea to it. And so I find forgiveness for myself, working forgiveness there, if that makes sense. Um, so this card does encourage the release of past hurts and embracing forgiveness, both towards others and yourselves. So if you're ready, even if you want to for others, right? You don't have to. It's not necessary. Don't let anyone tell you you have to forgive someone else. But again, this is why it's like so broad. Like depending on who you are or where you are in your life and what you want and what will be best for you, you might want to forgive others, right? So if that's the thing, this is for you. If not, this is for you as well. You don't have to. Um, and I say this because like if you're reading for clients, you might this might be a situation where maybe someone was betrayed. Maybe there was someone cheated on someone or whatever, and they but they want to work on relationship. They want to work on building it up. And so this is something that we might talk about here as forgiveness and how that applies and how where we're at there and what we can do to achieve it if we can, all the stuff. It opens a dialogue for conversation. So engaging in reflective self-dialogue, seeking therapeutic support, and finding solace in communal or creative outlets are vital steps toward moving beyond the pain. Healing is not a solitary journey. That is like, to me, that is something extremely profound that I have found for myself, and others, but like healing is not a solitary journey. It is enriched by shared experiences and the collective wisdom of your community. Confronting and releasing pain opens the door to deeper connections and fosters a compassionate understanding of your own vulnerabilities. So, what does this say to you? How does that make you feel? Makes me feel kind of uncomfy, vulnerable. But what is it expressing to you? I feel I feel like and again, the thing that really sticks out is like healing is not a solitary journey. And if you think about it, we are never walking alone. We have ancestors, we have spirits, we have all the things with us at all times on some level. And so when we heal, That healing is like this initiatory vibration that is sent throughout the entirety of existence. And so it's past, it's present, it's future. That healing is sent throughout all of our lineage, our legacy, the future, all of it. And so it's a really, really cool thing to start to like perceive in that way. Like, oh, when I walk this pathway to healing, I am not doing so alone, and I am not doing so just for myself, but as I heal, I break free from generational trauma, curses, all the things, and I do better for myself. Yeah. Whew, that's a lot. Let me get another sip here. That's a lot. And so, excuse me, um, embrace emotional rituals. Develop, develop. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. What? And you're like, today? You can't talk ever, but you sure try. I sure do. Thank you for noticing. De- Develop small personal rituals that honor your emotional journey. This could be a simple candle lighting each night to symbolize shedding light on inner darkness, or writing a daily note of forgiveness, gratitude, or even appreciation. It doesn't have to be forgiveness. We can do forgiveness, gratitude, or appreciation, to yourself or others involved, and then destroying it as a symbol of letting go. Okay. So embracing emotional rituals that can be really, really fun for us and therapeutic, right? And so I think that we should start to consider like how like what am I going through? Like what's being like unearthed right now, and how can I on an emotional and mental level, I feel like swords and cups are so intertwined that the emotion and the mental stuff really is so interconnected. But if we embrace these rituals, like what thought process is really getting to me, how can I work through this, how can I make a ritual out of this thought process to bring healing to it, and let's explore that, right? Cultivate compassionate connections, actively seek out or create a support network of people who understand and empathize with emotional pain. This could be through online communities, support groups, or friendships that allow you to express your feelings in a safe and supportive environment. So that's also important. I will add something here. It is also extremely important not to trauma dump, not to like, because there are groups that are healthy to help let me share, let me feel comfortable and confident in sharing, and I feel okay, but also not to live there. So there are some groups that are just like, let's just complain and whine and bitch and moan and trauma dump and just all of it, and we want to stay there, right? It's so important that we don't get to that space where it's like we can unload and talk and navigate through, even if it takes time to climb out. Does that make sense? So we have to be very careful when we're in those sort of like support groups, not to get caught up in staying stagnant in the pain. um Adopt a reconciliation practice. Um Consider engaging in practices that promote emotional reconciliation, such as restorative yoga, which focuses on physical postures that open the heart and release tension, paired with meditations on forgiveness and acceptance, or forgiveness, acceptance, appreciation, gratitude, stuff like that. These practices can help realign your emotional and physical state, fostering healing from the inside out. I also want to say, like, sometimes when it comes to forgiveness, it's not like forgiving ourselves. It actually can be forgiving like our association of divinity, right? Because sometimes we're like, how could you let this happen to me, right? How could what You're supposed to be looking out for me. Why did this happen? Why did I experience this? And so we build some sort of like intense like pain response to our divinity or divinities or god or goddess or gods or goddesses or whatever. So sometimes that forgiveness might be applied there, again, if and when we are ready. And we don't have to, but it's just, something to put out there. Um so when we are embracing this, pathways to healing, some questions that we can consider: what personal rituals could I introduce into my daily life that would honor my journey and facilitate my healing process? So when the Three of Swords reverse pops up, we understand that this is an introduction to healing. We understand that this is me or us going through something that we're actually able to now have a grasp on and move forward with. Like, we don't have to keep it under the rug, or we don't have to keep it locked away. We are actually ready now to like maybe work to let it go, to release it, so it no longer has this active component in our life. And so we ask ourselves, like, what personal rituals could I introduce into my daily life right now that would honor my journey and facilitate my healing process? In what ways can I strengthen my support network to provide more compassion and understanding towards my situation? Who can I reach out to? What does that look like? You know, are there specific practices like meditation or yoga that might help me reconcile my emotional and mental pain more effectively? How can I integrate them into my routine? So that's something that we need to consider as well. Those are just three questions, and again, if we're reading for others, reading for clients, this can be a sort of key conversation or a path to suggesting some like practical things to do to work through this aspect of the card. And that's really what matters when we're reading. It's like how to best utilize the insight given from the cards, to make better and more wise decisions, right? And to heal and to live a better life. So our last aspect of the Three of Swords today, embracing optimism and renewal. Let me get a little sip. Hold on. Okay. The Three of Swords reversed invites a renewal of your emotional landscape and encourages looking forward to new beginnings with hope and resilience. Well, hello. I I will most likely eventually get to it. Like, I legit have I was like legit and professional. I have an Excel worksheet, and I like shuffled all of the cards, and I was like, this is the show or whatever, the segment that I'm doing. Let me shuffle all these cards, and we're gonna go through. I'm gonna pull 78, the first 78 that come through, in the way they come through. We're gonna talk about these. And so if I don't have the Six of Swords reversed on yet, I will do it eventually for sure. I absolutely will, because I think these conversations are important, and I like them. I like them. But yeah, I will definitely do that. So uh you'll just have to keep watching. But no, I will. I don't know if I've done it yet. I'll check. Probably not. But I'll get to it. So the Three of Swords reverse invites a renewal of your emotional landscape and encourages looking forward to new beginnings with hope and resilience. Cultivating a mindset that embraces change helps foster a spirit that not only survives but thrives. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to just survive. We want to thrive. And we are worthy of that. We are capable of that. That's for us, right? That is for us. This optimism is not just about survival, it's about flourishing in the aftermath of pain. The imagery of swords being removed from the heart symbolizes the potential for personal empowerment and the reclaiming of joy, illustrating that every ending can set the stage for a new and hopeful beginning. There's something really powerful there. So and it really has to do with how we process, how our mindset is, and I hope that just talking about this today kind of plants those seeds and gives us like little gems to work with. So consider the heart with all the swords jabby jabby in there. When they are removed, pain, like there's holes in my heart, oh my gosh, like it's pain, it's hurt, it's all of these things. But here is the thing, too. We have a choice in this. What we fill that space with sets the tone for what we create moving forward. Does that make sense? And a lot of times, this pain that is like the swords that get removed or even jabbed in, like the space they take up on autopilot, we fill those spaces with like negative associations, more pain, more hurt, like more trauma, more like just more yuck, right? Just more shit energy. And there I don't say that to judge, because again, we're all different and we have to do what is right for us in that moment. But usually, and again, we're not conscious of it, normally, like this is just what we're trained to do. When we're hurt, we just focus on all that hurt and fill that space with more hurt and more beliefs that are going to support that hurt, or they create negative response. But talking about the Three of Swords reversed today, we can be like, okay, as I remove these swords, I'm ready to fill that space with something that is going to foster optimism or foster growth oriented stuff. And so I recognize, like, I'm going to make sure that I have the best possible, options for myself to live a better life. Yes, I went through a really, really bad breakup, and I'm going to unpack and process that in my own time. But I also recognize, like, that doesn't mean I have to go in through another one. That doesn't mean that every breakup or every experience in a relationship is going to be like this one. I can use this one to my advantage, learn from what was great, learn from what was not, and start to fill those like empty spaces with things that are going to the lessons and the gems that I've learned to create better moving forward. Does that make sense? And so I really like that about this part of the card. Um, and so practical applications here, set new goals. Use the insights gained from your healing process to set new personal goals. These can be related to personal development, relationships, career, or hobbies. New goals can redirect your energy towards positive growth and away from dwelling on past pain. So, an example, uh, there was a time when I was again doing professional retail, yada yada yada. Well, I had people. I loved what I do. I loved what I did. I cared about people, but like at the same time, my I wasn't for everybody, and so people didn't like that, and so there was like three, jabby jabs to the heart, and it was like, oh wow, you can't trust. I can't trust these people. I thought they had my back, and but I took those swords out. I listened to what they had to say. It hurt me. I legit cried because I felt like I was being attacked and just bombarded out of nowhere. And it was just manipulation, all this other stuff behind the scenes. And so, but I allowed myself to sit in that. Like I had to work, I had to make money, I had to pay the bills. So it's like I wasn't going anywhere. And I was there longer than anyone there other than the manager. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. Um, and so like it was uncomfortable. It hurt me. And I'm like, I don't want to take this with me. We have to be in a small space with each other moving forward. And so it's like, it's uncomfortable, but I will learn from this. I will grow from this. I will be better because of this. And so I learned that I am worthy of experiencing what I want to experience. I'm not going to fill this space with anything more negative. Thank you for saying what you had to say. Maybe I didn't like how you went about it. You could have, expressed it to me, and some of the things were not relevant. But like, I will learn from this, and I did, and I created a better experience. I also set new goals in that time. I was like, no, this isn't about them, this is about me. And so boom, I started to focus on what I could do. I started to focus on showing up for me. I started to do all those things. I started to claim what I wanted, asked for more, received more. I was like, no, you're not going to ruin me. This is not going to ruin my experience. Does that make sense? And so there was like mental like fuckery, but there's also like this emotional stuff and heart stuff and all this stuff that I was like, no, I know who I am. I know what I mean when I express myself. That might not always get understood. So I thank the situation for making me understand that not everyone is going to perceive the way that you actually are putting it out there, and maybe do better at getting it out there. And so cool, learned. And so use the insights gained from your healing process, from the pain, from the painful experience, the information that you've gained to set new personal goals. Um, and it helps. It does help because it gives you something to focus on as you process whatever you're going through. Practice gratitude or appreciation. Make it a habit to acknowledge and appreciate the good in your life, however small. Keeping a gratitude journal can help shift your focus from past hurts to current blessings, enhancing overall well being. I think it's important. It's important to focus, and having like something you write down, you can go back and revisit, and you can reread, and you can put yourself in a space where you feel good. Like when you get down, maybe like go look at your gratitude journal and then read it, and maybe put little drawings or little images that make you smile, that bring you joy, that are connected to a memory of love and support, or whatever it is you want to remember. And then like read your journal, look at the little pictures or whatever, and just smile. Make it personal. I feel like in a gratitude or appreciation journal, you should also have like jokes. You should have things that make you laugh. Just stuff like that, not just like, oh, I am grateful for being able to pay my bills, I am grateful for the shoes on my feet, I'm grateful. Don't make it lifeless, make it full of life. um and make it yours. Embrace new beginnings, actively seek new experiences and relationships. This openness to new beginnings can reinforce the idea that life's possibilities extend far beyond past pain, encouraging a more optimistic outlook. And so, with the Three of Swords in reverse, we're like, we're hurt, we're healing, but we're still hurt, not sure who we can trust or what we can do. But also, if we allow ourselves to embrace new beginnings, we can start to see that, oh, I can do this, I can experience new things, and they are different. And it will also help facilitate that healing through the pain process, and it also will get us out there and not stuck where we currently are. Does that make sense? And so the questions associated here, when this aspect of the card is flagged, what new goals can I set that reflect my current emotional and mental state and aspirations? Um, so what new goals can I set? Based on where, when this card comes up, like based on what we've talked about, where we're at with it, like what new goals can we set that reflect our current emotional and mental state and aspirations? How can practicing gratitude and appreciation change my day-to-day perspective on life and its challenges? And so like if we're reading for a client, maybe this is like, what, I understand that you're going through something, and it feels like it is intense. Every day for the next 3 weeks, I just want you to wake up, and smile, Just smile for a few minutes if you can, or a few seconds, and get a journal, your little gratitude notebook. Before you write anything, I want you to put something on that journal, right? That makes you smile. So when you open the journal, you see that first page or whatever, and it makes you laugh or smile. Put something silly, and then turn to the next page and write three things that you appreciate or you're grateful for or you're looking forward to, like whatever it is. Write three things, reflect upon them, then get out of bed and do your thing. But like, how can I practice gratitude? How can practicing gratitude change my day-to-day perspective on life and its challenges? Doing a simple ritual like this every day will help kind of get out of that funk. I'm not going to say it's going to pull you completely out of that funk, but it will help you start to realize there are things to look forward to. There are things that make you happy. There are things that make you laugh. And laughing is so fun. It is so fun. um, what steps can I take to open myself up to new beginnings and opportunities? And how can I ensure I'm ready for them emotionally? Do something small. What can I do to open myself up to new things? Okay. Um, it doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to go from one relationship to another, but like maybe you're going from one relationship and then you're like, you know what, I'd like to get out there and do some fun stuff. So maybe you have a friend that you can hang out with and do something with, whatever that looks like for you. Try it out. They also have these things where you can, like, I forget what it's called, but you can like find friend group, like new friend groups, and it puts like people together where, based on, I don't forget how they assess it, but you get into like this friend group, and you have like a mediator, and you go out to several places for so many weeks with the same friend group, get to know each other, build something, see if that's right for you or not, but you have to give it so many weeks, I think. So there's things like that you can do, um to kind of help get you out there, and also like just building new relationships and friendships, or possible friendships, but also having someone to be a mediator, to ask questions, a direct conversation to help with that is so helpful, and so, yeah. So that's the Three of Swords reversed. If you have any last minute thoughts, questions, concerns, feel free to comment, ask away. But I do thank you all for being here. Again, the Three of Swords reverse can be like this negative self-talk. So like it could be in what we're used to, people kind of like talking down to us, or filling our heads with negativity. And so we then take that and start to tell ourselves that. So when it's reversed, it's like, okay, be mindful of the way that you speak about yourself. Start to speak differently. The negative self-talk, we need to minimize, let it go, and start to implement something that's going to be reassuring and better. um this is about releasing pain, releasing hurt. It's about understanding who we are at a core level, and what we're going through, and not judging it, acknowledging it, and allowing it to process. This is a recovery state that we're in. So yeah, so much, and I believe it's Saturn and Libra, and so we know there's kind of like restriction that's going on here. There's things that are lessons that might be a little painful, sting, but also in the end, it's like, okay, we're not going to push ourselves to hurt even more. We can feel that pain, feel that hurt, feel that sting, and we can dial it back a little. So, yeah, that's what's popping up today for the Three of Swords reversed. I thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Hope you can take something from this. I know it's a long video, but that's what I do. I can't, it's so hard to do like 10-minute videos. I can't do that. I know it's better for some people's attention span, but like, there's just too much to talk about, and I enjoy doing long conversations. I will be talk to you tomorrow. I will talk to you tomorrow. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye.